Hello, Connective. Have the Energy Oracle cards today. Just looking for one card to do a reading. Just one card today from the Energy Oracle deck. Cards are really behaving themselves. They're not jumping. We do like them to jump out. Figure when they jump out, they've got something to say. Okay, I did get one, but I have to go get it. Alright, let's see here. First chakra, Archangel Michael. We have seen that card before, but I don't think it's come out by itself. Let's read. We did read it. I'm going to read it again. The first chakra is your base chakra. I just passed it. Okay. Archangel Michael, stability and security. Michael holds a beautiful globe of red energy at the first chakra, which is located at the base of the spine. This is the place where your sense of stability and security is stored. When this card is upright, it reveals that your energy is flowing freely regarding these issues. Even if you've had problems with feeling secure in the past, these challenges are beginning to be resolved at this time. Archangel Michael is with you, bringing you strength and personal stability. You are capable of taking action and moving forward on your path, so allow yourself to feel increasing faith in your own power and security now and always. And the affirmation is, my first chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state. I am strong, stable, safe, and secure. The Archangel Michael guides and supports me always. So in the other reading, I think it was like a general reading. I talked about, both the first chakra and Archangel Michael separately. First of all, that first chakra, that's the one with its color is red, and that base, stability, grounding chakra, you want to make sure that it's clear and that you are grounded in yourself. Energetically, you could do Reiki, or there's other like meditations and stuff you can do, that their chakra is a part of your energy field, so to clear your energy field basically. But also Archangel Michael, I mean, we're talking about protection, like, sometimes in a spiritual awakening, and I don't think I mentioned this because it was a general read and there was other cards on the table, but sometimes in a spiritual awakening you can feel like unprotected. You can feel like vulnerable. I mean, unprotected is a good word. Vulnerable, I guess, is a good word too, depending on what's going on. I remember one night I just felt like there was too many people in my apartment. Just like, and it's one of those things where you have these like, episodes where you kind of are uncomfortable, and kind of like, I feel like it's been coming out on the fringe today, with the readings that I've been doing, but, things that kind of create fear. And, when you know that you're protected, when you know that you can protect yourself, but more importantly, if you don't know how to handle a situation, or you don't know how to protect yourself in a certain situation, but you know that Archangel Michael has your back, it's easier to feel grounded, it's easier to feel stable, it's easier to feel secure. If you haven't established some kind of, security in your protection from other energies, and your protection just in your own, hanging on to your own energy. I mean, we really are talking about multiple aspects of protection from an energy point of view. If one of those links is weak, it's easy to feel like not grounded, and it's easy to feel unprotected. Sometimes it's easy to feel unprotected even though you kind of know you are, and maybe it's just a new situation, and it's a habit to go into that emotion, and you have to tell yourself, well, this isn't the same situation. I'm not gonna entertain that emotion, kind of thing. Even if it is new, and unfamiliar, and maybe even a little challenging, any situation. It's easier to handle it if you're secure and you're grounded. It's easier to weather storms. It's easier to help other people out, not just for yourself. When you're calm, you can see easier what other people need, and it's easier to respond because you're not sort of caught up in your own, tied up in your own response to what that situation is. Because it can be something that maybe isn't even personal to you. Like, just could be something that happens, at a mall. You're at a mall and something happens, and it could still be very jarring or very shocking to the point where you're kind of shaken up. It doesn't even have to really be personal. And when you're in a place where you're grounded and you're secure, you have that sense of stability and security, like what this card is talking about. It is so much easier to deal with the situation for you, to be, helpful to others who are trying to cope with it as well. It's easy to kind of look at it objectively and be able to give your energy and, help people without getting inundated with, emotions that might not be, first of all, pleasant, but second of all, something you don't necessarily need to experience to do, what you're there to do. Like I said, in the past, if you've had certain feelings at certain times, and these are now coming up, in different situations, that situation is coming up to be resolved. It's coming up to let you know that this is no longer the past. First of all, if you found this channel and you're not having a spiritual awakening, I wouldn't even know what that's all about. But having said that, if you're having a spiritual awakening, you're a different person. You're just a different person. You're already a different person, even if you haven't changed a bit. You actually have, if you're having a spiritual awakening. So, first of all, there's that. But, again, having mentioned that, it opens up a whole other door of communication here with this card, because, if you're having a spiritual awakening and you're changing, if you've changed and you're changing and you're going to change again and you're going to change again and you're going to change again, it's pretty helpful to know, to be grounded, to kind of know who you are, and to be stable and feel secure, and know how to protect yourself, and know how to ask Archangel Michael for assistance. And I've even talked before about opening your own dialogue with Archangel Michael so that you can further your protection, and honestly to form your own relationship with Archangel Michael, because can really be helpful in times when you feel like you're, walking through the fire. And, if I will tell you that if you're walking through the fire, don't stop in the middle. Just keep going through. Just go through. Go through to the other side. Seriously. And be grounded while you're doing it. Be strong. Be stable. Understand. That everything's going to pass, that no situation is going to be permanent. Even if it seems permanent, trust and believe it's going to change in some way. It will. I can think of a lot of examples right now, but, the point is if you've ever had a situation or a relationship or a moment in time that you wanted to just, freeze right there and say, I just want this to never end, then you know what I'm talking about. Everything at some point will change into something else. And so you couldn't hold it there if you wanted it to. So if you're in a situation that, you don't want to be in, just let it keep moving, let it keep going. And when you stay grounded, I'm not perfect at this. I'm pretty good because I've recognized a lot of things about the things that happen around me, and so I don't really get excited about that anymore. And so by that standard, I'm pretty good at staying, solid when stuff's going on. And honestly, I always was. Even if I did get sort of excited, like I would be going through something and I would be, in it, and other people would be in it, and I would be feeling something, and nobody would maybe necessarily see what I was going through. I mean, I was younger, you might have seen it, but as I got older, you wouldn't necessarily see what I was going through, but I would be going through something inside. Now, when I go through something and there's other people around, like I'm not necessarily going through anything while that thing is happening. Because a lot of times what happens is I'm getting information. I'm seeing somebody, like, let's say as an example, somebody is acting up and there's a bunch of people around and everybody's like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And I'm looking at this person and I'm getting information. This person's hurt because of this. This person's causing a fight because of this. Da, 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 da. They're fighting with, and so it's so much easier for me to just handle that person knowing full well what they're doing. So it's easier to stay, calm in that situation. And that's what I was about to say as the other part of what I'm talking about right now. A lot of times I see other people going through situations that are like not that big of a deal and they're freaking out. And I get sometimes, no judgment, I get when something's happening in your life that's could be big or small. And something else is happening in your life that's huge. And so that small thing seems huge. Like I get all of that. And I get maybe not even a lot's happening. Or maybe a lot of little things are happening. I get all of that. I get it. But at the same time, again, it doesn't matter in your life if there's one thing happening or 10. If you respond, excitedly in any of those situations, one or all, it does something to the situation energetically that you may not necessarily want to do. Escalates the situation sometimes depending on if it's an argument, or just something, that's really harsh to deal with, but then somebody's just, making it worse. You kind of see it happening. You go, wow, here we go, A lot of times when you're in this state, it's very easy to see it, and it's very easy to kind of say, okay, well, I'm not getting on that train with these people. If they want to ride, that's cool. Like I'm not, I'm gonna stay right here. And especially sometimes in a situation where there's something going on, and someone else is trying to like panic people, and then other people or another person is like remaining calm. A lot of times the level-headed people in the group will gravitate towards the one who's calm, because it takes a lot, first of all, a lot of energy to deal with that person that's freaking out. But on top of that, like I said, especially in extreme situations, people recognize, people who have, survival instinct recognize the people that are thinking clearly. You know what I mean? Like on a sinking ship. You know what I'm talking about? So this is what I'm saying. Is, a lot of times we as people, we tolerate situations, especially like from our loved ones or our families, where we just allow them to freak out or act up. And there isn't even really a ship that's sinking. It's just, well, I was going to say BS. But, it could be a situation that, maybe nobody else seems to think is important, but that person seems to think is important. Like, say, if they were fighting with their boyfriend, but nobody really likes their boyfriend, so they don't care. But that person is like, oh, I feel terrible, and my boyfriend, and everybody else is kind of like hoping he doesn't come back, kind of thing. The point is the more that person freaks out, the less people really even have, sympathy for them. They're like, well, hopefully she'll get over it today. Like, if not, maybe tomorrow. They don't want to get involved really. It's extra. It takes a lot of energy. Like I said, especially if they loved the guy. And so she loved the guy and they broke up, and they loved the guy, then yeah, they would put more energy into it. Oh my God, I understand, I feel the same way, or, he'll come back, or whatever people do. But again, that person, that's losing it a lot of times. is second energy from the people that are around them. And if you can be that person who just stays grounded, stays centered, stays secure, knows everything is going to be okay, just knows it, doesn't know how, it's okay, don't know how, but I know it will. This too shall pass. And everything else that you can say to remind yourself that this situation is not going to stay the way it is right now. That's helpful to you, and it's helpful to other people. So think about that. Keep that chakra clear. I keep telling you. All your chakras really, but you want to start with this one. If you watched like a chakra video where they do all the chakras, like the 7, main ones, they always start with this one. So start with this one. You start with that one, you work your way up. You don't want to just go right for the heart chakra. There's probably, if you got issues with your heart chakra, there's probably other chakras around it that need help too. So you might as well start with your stability. It's just going to be easier. Okay? So think about that. Think about who's reacting to what. Think about if it's you. Think about if you're stable and secure in that situation. Think about if they are. You can lend stability. You can be somebody's rock. You can be security, stability in a situation. Just be mindful of what you're giving yourself as well. You can't give what you don't have. So again, take care of you. Take care of them. Pay attention. Be secure in yourself. Until we meet again.